Morning, folks. It's just a recap of the 23rd. Obviously, we didn't trade it, and with good reason, because obviously I was saying I was expecting low volume and a range-bound market due to that, and obviously large whipsaws. So I just really thought I'd show you this as a recap to show you the comparison. This is what we want to trade. Obviously, this is a nice trending market. Pretty much from 3 a.m., which obviously that's early hours your time, which is 8 a.m. our time. It ranged, it traded in a trend 477 points. Perfect day, really. Obviously, when it opened, it just continued. So basically, we had a gap up effectively on the futures market overnight, and then rather than retracing, it held that gap and then did double the gap. Perfect day, really. Contrast that with a low volume day, like Wednesday. We had a very much range bound day. So obviously, I just wanted to show you this. And obviously, for trend traders, this, to be perfectly honest, is a nightmare for trend trading. Right, that candle there alone is 181 points. So obviously in 5 minutes, obviously if you were thinking, hey, we're going to go long, and you go long and you get in, guess what? It drops back down by 119 points. You're not going to have a stop that big. So the only way to trade this is through the levels. Obviously, as you can see there, it did touch level 1. Just 2 sets. Let's have a look. Pretty much, yeah. And obviously, then potentially that would have been a long. So obviously, in that instance, we don't use the trend trading system. We have to use the level system. And if you look here, so I believe there's a level that's just there, yeah, which is R1, literally came within under 20 points. So obviously that's one that you could have taken for a short there. So it would have been levels trading in range bound. So the trend trading just does not work in that environment, because obviously, as you can see, your bars are too long. What do I expect today? It's going to be another low volume day. Obviously, we're after a bank holiday. The key thing here is basically it's Friday, and we've had Thanksgiving yesterday, and I think a lot of the institutional traders will actually just take the week, the day off, and then start back on the Monday. So in that instance, we would expect lower volume, and in that instance, we would see this sort of price action. So again, the levels potentially could be in play today. So if we just scroll to the charts to the end, obviously, at the moment, we've got quite a tight range. But again, if you look at here, and I'm just going to go back just to show you on this. 2 seconds. Yeah, I want to show you Wednesday. Right. So my levels automatically come up on Wednesday. Right. So the range was R1 to the pivot point. Right. And obviously the range was large. So we were basically just looking at this down to L1. Where were we? And R1, right in the middle of C. C2 was pretty much not quite a balance point. So obviously what we need to see here, if we were trading this, and I want you to watch the market today. I don't necessarily want you to trade it, because trading ranges, which it's part of our toolkit, but obviously it's not our main focus being trend traders, is to look at the expanding ranges. So obviously here, I just want to show you this. Right. So that's your range overnight. And you can see if I see this breaking out, breaks out to the bottom, pretty much by the same amount. And for a betting man, I'd say the same amount to the top, which it pretty much is. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit over. Right. So obviously, what you just need to see today is look for, does it break out to the top? Does it break out to the bottom? Does it then top out at a particular point? Obviously, yesterday's, I think, did I say, yeah, was it L1? I think it was. Yeah, L1. So obviously, we need to be looking at what we're going to be topping out. I mean, if it was L1 again, you're way down there. Right, so obviously, let's have a look. Right, so we're already at L1 for today, as in overnight. So I really think you're going to be looking at, depending on how this pans out, and obviously we still have a little bit of time on pre-market. What we're talking. And I'm just going to draw this out for reference, but obviously we'd need to look at this a little bit further forward. We're potentially going to be going up there and potentially down here if it is a ranging day. And so we're looking at R1 and S3 as we speak. Obviously, these figures and figures can change, but that's the sort of range we're looking at if we don't go into a trending market. Like I say, with the lack of institution trading, I do not think we will see the day being a trending day. Could be wrong, because obviously, at the end of the day, we always have to just trade what we actually see. It's not actually what we think. So I think it's a case of, and I'm obviously now thinking as we speak, I think it is a case that we will get a ranging day. But obviously, if we, for instance, obviously at the moment, we're pretty much mid-bound. So it doesn't look like we're gapping up. We're not gapping down. It's very, very tight range. If we opened up and the IB, the initial balance of the first hour, was a tight range, which it wasn't yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before, sorry. As you can see there. This is a telltale sign, and this is more of an educational video, just to help you out. I'm just going to look at that range. In fact, what I want to do is just mark out what I want to do for you. 2 second Amundos. We're going to highlight that range for you. Just a little bit easier when we do this. And on the main charts, I do highlight this. Something I start. What I'm just doing here is I'm just highlighting the initial balance. In fact, actually, yeah, I want that. There's 2 things I want on there. Oh, I've got that now, actually. Sorry. What am I doing? I need more coffee today. What I want is I want to. That's it. I know what I'm doing now. Just excuses for being a bit stupid. Right, here we go. Right, I want a second time hand rate highlight. I'm going to put this in blue, and I'm going to change the figures to be 9:30 till 10, and that's just going to basically show me that period. Now, I'm going to show you 2 things here. Right, that trending day. Look at your range. And I'm just going to broaden it out even more. And my range within that time period is that 126 points. Right. It's deceptive. But compare that to what it's just done as well. So from the 4 a.m. pre-market open, which I measure, you got 200 there. Oh, just get rid of that. Two secs. This computer's freezing on me. Don't do that. Got the circle of death. Oh no. Hopefully it won't crash. Right. No worries. I'm just being impatient. So I'm going to put chart calculator on here. Just show you this range. Look at that range. So we've got the 200 there. And then... oops. There. So the range on a trending day tends to be tighter. Now that is actually quite a high range for a trending day, right? But again, just take note of it. Right, it's not always going to pan out this way. It's not always going to pan out the way a big initial balance equals a non-trending day, a ranging day. It's just one data point, right, that we do need to take into account. Obviously, remembering that the internals, which I'll do a separate video for, do also indicate whether we're in a range-bound day or a trending day. So obviously, you can see here. Obviously, that's how you trade the range day, and then obviously coming into here, i.e. today, just going to scroll forward, and we're just in the overnight at the moment. We're looking for a similar sort of scenario. Is it going to be a big opening range? Is it not? I think it will be a big opening range, and if that's the case, it's range-bound trading, and we trade the levels. If it's a trending day, i.e. we gap up or we gap down, and then we continue, then we trade the trend radar, which obviously is 2 seconds. I haven't actually, have I got that up? Yes, I have. Is this. So obviously just recapping on what's happened over the last few days on the trend radar, right? This range, and obviously I said I'm not trading Wednesday, which we're just going to go back to Wednesday, purely on a range trading day scenario, purely because I didn't think we'd get the volume or we'd get potential whipsaws in the market. If we look at Wednesday, what happened? We did get a buy on the trend system, which was triggered there, 198, but there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. You'd by the time you get into this, you'd have lost money, because obviously then it came right down. Now, obviously, we did get another signal here, but again, by the time you get into it, now this signal's better, right? You could have made some money there, but you know, it's not the best of signals we've had. So, and obviously, if you took this signal, if you were late into the game, which, yeah, that is no, it is actually on that candle, right? You would have got 100 points out of that. So, anyway, I just thought I'd give you a recap of the last few days. Like I said, today I'm not trading today myself. I'm concentrating on the swings, concentrating on looking for another Google trade. Obviously, we've done well in that Google trade as we speak. Obviously, you're off the 30 minutes divergence. We saw it pop. It dropped to 94. And then obviously we get in via the trend radar system for that particular stock. So I was in at 96, and obviously we're up nearly 3 points as we speak, depending on what happens on the market open. So I'm going to be looking for some more trades like that for next week. So I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna wish you a good weekend, and hope this has been useful. I always do this just as I'm checking out. I just get one idea just before I go. I just want to see what's going on Apple. So, got some news out on Apple as we speak that there's been riots at their main factory due to working conditions. So just keep an eye on what's going to happen to Apple today on the open. Obviously, as we speak, I'm just going to scroll that to the end. Right, so we haven't got any pricing data yet. Right, there's no signals yet as well on that. What are we going to see coming into the market open? Are we going to see a big dip? I don't know. We'll see. So it's just something to note that there is quite a bit of news out regarding the riots. And if you saw it on the news, it does look pretty serious stuff. Whether or not that'll affect the share price, we will have to see. Okay, so have a great weekend. I will be back on the screens on Monday, trading again, but I won't be trading today on the indexes for what I've just said to you. Okay, bye for now. Have a great trading weekend, great trading day today if you do trade, and have a great weekend just in general. All right, me is checking out. Bye for now.